Hello, Alpay. We are back. Last week I was on holiday, so I didn't do any program, any video. But today we start again. So this is for the young generation, for the manager to be, any catering manager, general manager, assistant manager, food and beverage manager, chefs. If you have a plan to move abroad and to get well-paid jobs, good positions, but hard work. So follow my videos. I will give you all the opportunities, all the rips, and to encourage you. You must never give up. One advantage is I found working abroad, especially in the UK, where I find this job. There is a facilities to help you to find new jobs. There was a weekly magazine, catering magazine, personal jobs magazine, opportunities, and on the newspapers, because British has colonies everywhere, so has contacts with every big companies. So it's not like a Turkey. You only see Turkey, and the people, they don't have access to this kind of opportunities. So nevertheless, we continue. I was in Saudi, and we were working 3.5 months on and 2 weeks off. So 3.5 months working abroad without family, far away from the family. It was not easy. Not easy for my wife and not easy for me. So British wife was moaning, I told you last time. So I have to find a solution for it. So fortunately, God helped me. Allah yardım etti. So I found the company started new job in Algeria, North Africa. So he told all the catering managers in Saudi working there, food and beverage managers, there is an opportunity. They are looking for somebody to work in the Sahara, in the middle of the Sahara, yes. And only snag is, whoever will go to get this job there, he should speak perfectly good French. So I do. So I got the job, told the wife, I'm coming. She's happy, children happy, babies still 4 years, 5 years. And I said, look, there's another job, but this time we are separating only 2.5 months. So I go for 2.5 months instead of 3.5 months, and I get 2 weeks off. Oh, okay, try that. As you know from my previous video, my wife, we both, while we were in Saudi working, a small terrace house, and in front had a small grocery shop. So she was not working outside somewhere. She was at home, and when the customer comes, she was serving it. She was happy with it. So anyway, two weeks gone very fast. I made an arrangement with the general manager's office in London. I got all the papers, all the facts and figures about Algeria. He told me it is a tough job. The country is wild, but we are in the desert. So we are going to work with the Japanese. We are feeding the Japanese. So they had already 4 dining room. Each dining room they had the British chefs, young lads, and plus Japanese workers and Japanese cooks working, cooking for them. Plus they had the hello Hakan. Plus they had Algerian local people helping in the plunge, in the preparing the vegetables, so on. But mainly Japanese menu. I never done the Japanese menu before, but I was going to control. I didn't know what was the standard. Of course, I've been used to Aramco standard, high standard, and I was expecting it's going to be same. So we fly. It was one of the Ramadan periods, I remember. Fly to Algeria, and it was a late afternoon, almost getting dark. And I was saying to myself, look, nobody will welcome me. I will go to a hotel, any decent hotel, I didn't know anything, and pass the night there, and later in the morning I will go to the JGC office in the town. But no, there was already a coach waiting for JGC, label on it. Whoever comes, the guy was taking down to the Hasiramel, I remember, Hasiramel area. So I said, okay, we jumped. I wasn't happy because I was really, I wanted to relax first, you know. Anyway, so we drove all night, about 6-7 hours, coach driving. We stopped maybe 2 places, and we are half asleep, half stopped somewhere for a food. Food was lousy. There was no drink, not cold drinks at all, and most of the British engineer in the coach, they were sleeping because they had the drink on the plane. They knew that the facts of the country, I think. So anyway, we arrived about 5 a.m. in the morning. So these British workers went to their room, and they told me who I am. They were only Japanese. They said, okay, then we will give you one room, and you sort it out next morning because no manager is available. Camp managers available now. I said, okay. My room was, to compare to Aramco in Saudi, is like a mess. It's like a barrack. Wooden room, one window, and it was one air condition. That's all. Table, chairs, and small bed. So I didn't do anything. I just went to bed, and next morning I wake up early. I went to the reception. There was one guy says, okay, welcome, and introduced me to the general manager. And general manager said, where you come or from, or allow. And they looked my CV, we talk, and they said, look, we're doing the impossible in this country. So relax. It's not going to be like an Aramco standard. It is a really poor standard, but the money is good and the leave pattern is good. So take a deep breath and stick to it. And of course, they showed me around. There was a 4 dining room, and they took me to the administration office, by car again. And they introduced me the admin Japanese guy, but the general manager of the GCC, Matsuna-san, I can't see him because he is higher than me. They had this funny ranking business. You shake only same title gentleman. If you are lower, you can't go near it, and then you can look at me. Hierarchy very important. So anyway, we met all-round man, one British Cypriot, British passport Cypriot, and he was the key man. He was the all-round man. So he was he can talk anybody in Japanese here in Russia without asking permission, and they rely on him because he solved everything with the British, any problem with the Algerian. The company called Sonatrach, like in Russia they have a Gazprom, Sonatrach, it is the Algerian Gas Corporation. They found this gisement in the middle of Sahara, underneath. So we were Italian company next to us, to it. We had the Dutch camp not far away from us. There was a Dutch people as well working. So all Europe, big money invested in this giant project. So check the menu, round up and check the warehouse. They are all mess. I said to myself, look, what you want to do? Each dining room they had the 2 British chefs, plus Turkish, plus Algerian chef, plus Japanese. Japanese chefs, I didn't care who were there, but I was interested about my staff. And the assistant catering manager, he was a British guy from Mauritius. Still chat with him, Marcel. And he was there just translator, not the manager. He was there like that. He was speaking French, English, plus the Mauritius. He was a little darker, but he was okay with the personnel, Algerian personnel. Of course, my standard, in my mind, I wanted to make it tidy everywhere. I want to look organized. So first thing first, and administration work, I ask from my assistant, I want to know who works in this 4 dining room. I want a big chart on the wall, the names, and they take the titles. As soon as I go and I see, and I want to check who works, who is absent every day, plus the names of the British guys. So he was trying to prepare all these things, and I tackled the storeroom. Huge storeroom. You can put a Boeing inside, the plane inside, so big. The food, they imported about the shipload food, Japanese food there, canned food and everything, but it was everywhere. They put it on the socket and then they run down, and it was messy. So I got a couple of people at the beginning. Then I got 4, 5, 6 Algerian locals. They come from the near city, Laguat. Of course, they were not easy people. You ask something, they do it, and half an hour later they disappear. There is a union. So I told them, look, they are not sticking to the one job. They run away, they have an excuse. He says, this is it. This is the character of the people in this area. Ladies and gentlemen, it took me 3 months. It took me less than 3 months to sort it out, all the items in the warehouse, and put them on a pallet. And outdated food was discarded, and submit all the stocks my general manager is a British officer, always from the British officers, because no one can come and work there. But there was not the same discipline in Aramco, but there was a British officer. And his assistant, he was from the Navy. Yeah, you see. Plus chefs, some mostly bachelor boys, they wanted their money. More is difficult, uncomfortable jobs, the money is good. They don't speak French, these British guys. And I was there, I was meeting, weekly meeting, sometimes emergency meeting, sometimes discipline is problem, because the guys, they are, as I said, undisciplined. It's like savage horses. You can't guide them. So sometimes when the British chef says order to do something, they refuse to do it. Mainly we need them to preparing the food, helping the Japanese chefs as well. Only few were good. They had the Japanese butcher. Also we had a British butcher as well, because we had the expat as well. They can't get on with each other. I mean, they were all young, and instead of food menu, I had another problem as well, ordering. And there was a guy who doesn't speak French. He used to go to buy. Sometimes he doesn't get the right ingredient. And general manager, British guy, said, look, you are here, you're doing this. I don't need this buyer. He was an accountant as well in the same times. So most of the accounting done by the British, by the Japanese. So he said, look, this guy is going back to UK, and I don't want him come back. So from now on, can you do the shopping as well? I said, yes, what? You have to go by 10-ton lorry to whatever we need the goods. If we need vegetables, we have to go Algiers, 8 hours by lorry, maybe sometimes 9 hours. So if you want to buy meat, again, we don't buy from Algiers. We go to another town where there's a plain, where the cow is grazing, called Setif. If we want to buy fish, we have to go north, near Moroccan village. It's a very popular village. So anyway, we made the plan like that. Of course, the time not goes very easily, because no television, no telephone, again still. Mobile telephone not exist. And people, they come and they work 2.5 months, they go. But in the meantime, they have to enjoy themselves. So what they do, Algeria is not a dry country. What do you mean? Alcoholic wise, it's not forbidden. So people, all expats, when they come to the country, they bring always from the duty-free shops couple of bottles, whiskeys, gins, or whatever, alcohols, and like people who like to brew their own beer, they bring the kids to make a beer. So I wasn't sure about the existing condition, and I was unhappy. So general manager always talking to me, look, you will be, give yourself a time, you will understand, we like you, and you're hardworking, you have experience, you got the French, patati patata. He said he convinced me to stay. Of course, to adapt to new places, in our personal agenda, he says, you need 21 days, 3 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, young boys, young ladies, when you go to another new company, new firm, a new country, 3 weeks. Give yourself 3 weeks. With the new personnel as well. If you give a new job in a city, you finish your 3 weeks, you start adapting. It's psychologically accepted. So within the 3 weeks, I made my mind up. I said, okay, I'm staying. Or we celebrated with the new brew beer. So every day there was a work, always. Then I start first my trip. I went to Alger. Me and driver, 10-ton lorry, frigorific. So I met the new guys, and as Algerian, and half Arabic, half French they speak. And we loaded the lorry and stay a couple of nights in Alger, the best hotel. Oh, then I said, look, yes, I start like, because Alger, near the seaside, Mediterranean, full of fish, abundant, lobsters everywhere. Of course, only expat can afford it, or the rich Algerian. And they had the local wine. Most of the wine going, especially red wine, going to France for a coupage. And French, they don't have that summer in France. They needed to make a coupage. They mix their wine with the wine from Algeria. That's why the French wine red is so famous. Of course, they have a Beaujolais as well. But most of the red wine going after September to France. So in Alger, I met new people. I met the JGC. I visited the JGC office there. Nice guys. While I was staying in the hotel, and I was thinking, what else I can do in Alger. Alger is a nice, very folkloric city, like between west and west. It's all mixed up. In the restaurant, in the local restaurant, you can eat merguez, like a fresh sausage to make, and fish, of course. They fry fish in the big market there. Falafel, they make falafel, and like a kofta type of things, but vegetables kofta. They fry them, and tagine. They have a tagine as well. Meshui they make, turning the lamb on spit. Tagine is like a Moroccan, but it's exists in Alger as well. The stew meat, lamb, or lamb, of course. Pork is forbidden, but some places I heard they sell pork as well. Of course, they were under the French for so many years. How many years? 18 years. They are not very good feeling with French people, because French stay there so many years, and they run them like a slave. Anyway, the funny thing in the camp area, it wasn't like hardcore terrain. It was all dune, sand dune, and some evenings, some weekends, some months, winds moves these dunes from one corner to another. Sometimes they cover all the camp completely. Once we done, it happened. It was blowing night and days, and they're moving sand dunes, and he was covering the camp, and there was smaller than Saudi, not very comfortable. There was hardly, sometimes you can lose your way where to go, so the better we stay always in the camp. We couldn't go anywhere. The Laguat is the nearest place. Sometimes we go for administration work. They call me, the syndicat d'initiative, they call me there and to meet me, and we talk each other. They are friendly, but they don't show friendly. There was a distance. There was this kind of people, hard people. Of course, the Romans were in Algeria. Hannibal was in Algeria and Tunisia. Hannibal, famous emperor, Hannibal. Ottoman was in Algeria. Barbaros Hayrettin was in Béjaïa. Béjaïa in northeast part of. When I visited the north coast, it was like Antalya is in Turkey. Sharp cliffs, sharp cliffs. If almost separated between Turkey and Algeria. Maybe it was together. Anyway, very sharp cliff, but in one part, like Manavgat, they got same level as the sea. So Béjaïa, we went there as well, where Barbaros Hayrettin was getting the ships and spend the winter there. It wasn't a sharp cliff, it was a plain. So he was putting maybe 100 ships, wooden ships, and to the necessary helpings, repairing, and then ready for another expedition. All Mediterranean was Ottoman lake that time. Yes, so Japanese, as I said, they very adamant and very keen to meet same level of people. If you are lower than them, they don't talk to you, they don't shake hands. Only man, all-round man, he called manager. He was Mr. Razi. He was a shipyard guy, British passport, and he had his own welding team. The Japanese were building this refinery, and plus they do a pipeline. They dig and they put the pipeline, the gas pipeline, and there was steel tubes, 78-inch diameter, 72-inch diameter. So this British welder, they were welding 2 pipes, 3 pipes, and slowly, and there was other British officers or British workers, they were helping lifting, and they had the before experience. They were all subcontractor, of course. I was get on with him very well. So he knew me, and he knew me how I made the change and the photos get changed, and he was happy, and he was talking to the British, to the Japanese and the British easily. If you need something, you can get you straight from UK. So Japanese likes to be giving gifts. So everyone now they give gifts. Of course, the money was ruling. Everybody making money. So I was happy too. So my personal stuff ran down. I knew how to control it. It was good steps from me. Plus storeroom is done. So I go with the lorry, get the food, get the beer, get the meat. So they were saying that, okay, I hope you enjoy it. So they were making you more comfortable. Of course, it wasn't comfortable, but only 2.5 months I accepted this job. And finally, my 2.5 job was coming. And I wanted to buy some food. There was some present to take with me to my family. There was nothing. There was nothing. But some guy from the near village Gardaya, he said, look, it's time for the dates. Hurma, dates. If I'm interested, he can give me. I said, yes, give me. No, he says, it's a big bunch. I said, look, okay, give a big bunch. And 2.5 months went well. We quick. I was happy. So I had my hurma dates. They were very juicy dates. They were better than, I must say, Saudi ones. Of course, Saudi has a different ones, but this one really juicy. The honey is running down. So I said, let's go. So you travel from Gardaya airport to Alger, and from Alger you travel with Algerian plane to France, Paris, Charles de Gaulle. From Charles de Gaulle you wait. There was a 2 airport there, Charles de Gaulle and other one. Sometimes from Charles de Gaulle, sometimes you have to travel Paris. For that, you need a stamp as well for your passport. Then from the Charles de Gaulle or other airport, you take British Airways or Air France to go to London. This is the only. You can't fly direct from Alger to London that time. I don't know if it's still they do it. So only the, well, I was enjoying because you was traveling from one airport to another. You cross, sometimes you go by metro, sometimes by coach. And only thing is to get the visa, sometimes they make you wait because you are Turkish, I presume. Okay, But we didn't give up. So I accepted the conditions. You're always like that. If you don't like it, take a deep breath and watch the next step. Okay? See you. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.